Hello and welcome to the show. Now, the modern Trans Am cars are pretty crazy, if I'm going to be honest with you. These have got 850 horsepower, they don't weigh a huge amount, and they have quite a large amount of downforce. They are wild cars. I mean, hell, this Cadillac barely even looks like the Cadillac it's supposed to be based upon. They're very cool, though. They are something that we don't really see much about or hear much about over here in Europe. And it is rather neat that we have a whole selection of them in Forza Motorsport, a series I didn't necessarily think we would see in Forza, for example. So we decided to go and run a little series featuring, well, all of the cars that we now have in Forza. So, here we go. Rolling start is afoot. We are going to have the inside into the first corner. It's going to be, I think, quite busy for these. These are absolute monstrous cars. I'm not sure how this is all gonna pan out here. We are gonna hope for a nice clean run into the first corner. We are off and we are underway down towards turn number one. Of course, we're on a very tight line compared to Danger Man, who's got a little bit caught up behind the Corvette. I couldn't really use all of the road, and I wanted to. Danger Man is going to be out wide there. We're going to get a good run up the hill here. Try and give space if we can. We have got an excellent run through all of that. Aaron's had a little bit of a sluggish start. Now, we are on medium tyres. Or Danger Man may have got a little bit of a tag from someone there. We have got medium tyres, which, of course, is going to give us less grip than some of the cars further up the field. A lot of understeer through there. Cold medium tyres going on. Danger Man is on softs, so it's almost don't fight Danger Man too hard. Our tyres, the race will come back to us. I think Ewan is also on the soft tyres as well in this one. We are going to be stuck out wide fighting against Gliska here. Ewan's car looks like a Viper. It isn't. It's a Corvette with a livery on it. I mean, these vehicles do look a little bit unusual, that is for sure. And I think a lot of the cars further up are on soft tyres. They know they've got ballast coming later on. They've had a good spot on the grid, so they are trying to make the most of that good spot on the grid by running the softer tyres. We're going to try and not slide out. I mean, if we can end up, my goal is to end up somewhere around the 7th, 8th spot if we can. I'm not great with this car. We will have soft tyres going into I've got my soft tyres coming up next, which is good for me. At Homestead, I much prefer that track to I know that track better than Watkins, so I'm figuring focus my soft tyres on the track I'm good at. A lot of the cars ahead, I'm not great at Watkins, not great with the cars. A lot of the cars ahead are on softs. If we can sort of hold our place, that would be wonderful. There is some proximity arrows going on behind. I think Aaron might be on softs. I'm not completely sure. Surprisingly, quite a few cars are going for softs in the first race here. When we've done these kind of three races with a little bit of tyre strategy, sort of essentially the BTCC style setup, there has often been no one running softs in the first round, but this time probably the most we've ever seen. I am through the bus stop quite nicely this lap. Just be neat and tidy if we can. We've found ourselves in a little bit of no man's land. I've certainly not got the pace of the cars ahead. Not got the pace of them at the moment. We had a little bit of a scruffy start. I think Longbow is like me on mediums at least. Stevie has had a very good start. They were at the very back of the grid. So Stevie's had one hell of a run so far to bring themselves up some positions here. We may well have to be defending from a fellow Cadillac. I'm running the Cadillac because it's new and it is quite it's sort of a bit like a melted Cadillac. It looks like someone's taken... Actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like a remote control car body shell of a Cadillac, where it has to try and fit within the dimensions of an RC car while still vaguely resembling the vehicle. I don't know. Is there ever... I'm going to get myself distracted pondering remote control cars. I used to run a Mazda 6 back in the day. I think everyone did for a while, to be honest. That was sort of just a bit of a generic... Kind of like a generic blob of a Mazda 6. To look like. That's kind of... I hadn't thought about it until now. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Right, we're going to defend. I think Stevie may be on soft. Be kind of a brave choice going on to go from the back of the grid. I guess it would be like you burn your softs, but you do get a hell of a run up through the order. I certainly can't match that through there. I mean, as I said, I'm not great with this car, but yeah, it's a hell of a run so far from Steve. We've got a lot of slipstream down here. Not going to go for an overtake. I mean, I wouldn't go for an overtake into the bus stop anyway at the best of times. Oh, that might be a little bit too... Oh, no, Stevie's out wide. I'm going to take that opportunity. Thank you very much indeed. Ewan is now all over the back of us, having a look. Ewan's run wide, though, on the exit of that one. So, yeah, Ewan's had a little bit of an adventure out there. We are starting to have to defend. I'm definitely losing ground to the cars ahead. We are not having a great race in this one, particularly. Come on, caddy. Slide your way out of that corner a little bit. I know you're going to want to. It's a huge gaggle of cars having a fight behind us. If they keep fighting each other, that helps me. At the end of the day, the more they fight each other, the better it is for me. God, I'm just not good at this. I'm not great with this car. I just cannot seem to get pace at Watkins for whatever reason. Don't know whether I want to stay in third maybe through there. Oh, they're still having an argument. I mean, this is great news for me in terms of the longer they fight, the better a chance I have in all of this. We will run out of the final corner. Okay, and it's Gliska up behind us. I'm pretty sure Gliska is on the same tyres as me. So that is good news for me. It's helpful to see. That's terrible through turn one, but never mind. All right, we are up the hill. We're nicely enough up the hill. We've got about a second gap behind us. Impega leading the way is well, a long way out in front. There were some big gaps. Let's say not crazy gaps. We're about a second down on Impega in qualifying. And they are on softs as well now going into this, so they're going to be lapping considerably faster than us per lap at the moment, but there will be ballast coming their way for future races. I wish I could match that sort of pace. We've got a little bit of a gap on Gliska now. Although I am better at the first part of the lap, I struggle through this part of the lap. Always going up ahead. Longbow, my Cadillac friend, up ahead. The highest of the qualifying Cadillacs was Longbow. They are... Well, just been passed by Shadow. I think they were having a little bit of a squabble. Gliska is holding up Ewan. Good work, Gliska. You hold off those cars. Hold off those cars for me. Be an excellent rear gunner, please. Not that there's any reason to be necessarily, other than for the medium tyre cars, it's fun if we can ruin some soft tyre cars races. Honestly, if I finish the races in 7th, I avoid any ballast, and I go into the next race in a pretty good spot. If I can finish 7th, considering my... it's not dislike for this circuit. I actually like the track. I'm just not good at it. Yeah, that would be good. We've pulled a little bit more of a gap on Gliska. That is sort of the goal. I mean, I've found... I don't know if it quite is the way to drive these cars. They are absolute animals. I love them. They're completely against what it would be my normal sort of race car, what I normally like driving. But I find if I am early on the brakes and just focus on making sure I get it stopped and turned, that tends to get me the lap time. It's not a guarantee, but it does tend to get me a better lap time than if I really sort of hustle it. I just don't have the skill to really hustle this car, and I can be more consistent with that little bit of caution. We're going to launch it through there. Gliska's made a small bit of time on this lap. Gliska's found a little bit of pace. We're only talking a few tenths here. Longbow is pulling away in front of us. Ewan is still there looking. I mean, I know, considering we are on a faster lap, I've not had a terrible lap myself. Do we leave it in third? Oh, not mid-corner understeer there. Come on, caddy, you can do this. Gliska still under threat back there. That's really saving me, is the fact that Gliska is really having to contend with Ewan and Stevie and all of that group. They have been really fighting hard, and yeah, that has made my life considerably easier. I'm going to try third gear on the exit here. It seems okay. I mean, the car's got so much power and torque that you'll probably get away with it. I mean, these have got well over 800 horsepower. They're absolutely monstrous cars. Lots of power, surprisingly large amounts of downforce as well. Don't I think they weigh a little bit under £3,000. Ewan's having a look down towards turn 1. That would be a sensible spot to go for it if you're going to get a pass completed. We are a little bit wide through turn 1, as is everybody by the looks of it. Just asked a bit too much, but Ewan is through. Ewan is up into 8th place. Now that might be the battle for me to the end of the race. Can we stop Ewan from finding a way past? Gliska's done a great job so far at defending. Can I do something about keeping that Ewan Corvette behind us? I mean, we're not catching Longbow. We've kind of settled into a sort of a few tenths a lap slower than Longbow, but they were so far away that there was not a huge amount that we could do. We've had a good run through there. Ewan has not had a great run either through the bus stop or through the carousel corner, whichever one. We've got a few tenths on them that might be invaluable here, because this part of the track where I suck, and also Ewan, I believe, will have more grip than me as well. Come on. Don't slide too much. Oh, here comes Ewan. That's a horrible sight. That is a horrible, horrible sight behind me. We will defend the inside. It might not matter. Ewan's going to look underneath, but Ewan is going to be on the wrong side for this next corner. We are not going to give this one up if we can help it. There's a little slide from the caddy. Ewan is still going to be on the wrong side. Oh, God, through here. Well, there was contact on the way in. I tried. We're going to try and squeeze Ewan down to the bottom through there. Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of a contact on the way in that really upset the car, and then we sort of returned it through the next part. It was a bit of a bit of paint swapping. I mean, I couldn't get much more out of that, if I'm honest with you. It was Impega that would take victory, 2 Mustangs in 2nd and 3rd. We will hopefully be able to have a look at the actual race result. Honestly, I think that's the best I could have got. I don't think I could have got much more out of that car. Truth be told, yeah, I'll take a 7th at that point. I will happily take the 7th. Oh, I can breathe. I can breathe. We fought. A lot of the paint came off the car. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was Impega, Brazen and Dangerman up in 3rd ahead of Liam. Shadow, Longbow. We would take 7th ahead of Gliska. Ewan and Stevie would round out the top 10. So, here we go, on to the second race. We've got our soft tyres, a track I quite like. Whether I'm going to like it in this car or not is anyone's guess. Shadow is also on softs, has a little bit of ballast. Liam is on softs, has a bit more ballast. So it's going to be an interesting one to see what we might be able to do here for us. I'm hoping if we can get a good start, we might be able to do something here. Maybe a podium is going to be possible. Oh, there's a lot of checking up going on into turn 1. Gliska with a very good start here, actually. Now, because the trick is going to be, we don't want to get too stuck early on. We want to get clear as much as we can, but we've got to be a little bit patient. We got a good run on the exit. Gliska lit up the rear tyres in the Corvette as well. We might be able to get Gliska. Shadow's had a bit of a poor start there. We might be able to get Gliska down the inside into the braking zone here, and we do. That looks like a Brazen out very wide, all out of position. Whoa, Brazen's across the track there. Dangerman and Longbow have got together. We've got a great run. We've got a great run, and there's not going to be much space out there for us. Liam is about to go to the front of the field. We are going to put the nose of our Cadillac up the inside. There is a Mustang right behind. That was Dangerman. We've got the tyres to do that, and of course we've got no ballast in our car. All the vehicles ahead of us have some. Not necessarily much, but we are ballast free here. Oh, come on, Cadillac, get turned through there. Now, Liam has got to the front. I expect Liam is just going to be faster than me anyway. That ballast probably not going to be enough to slow Liam down, but you never know here. We will get out of the final corner. Now, of course, we can punch off that corner with some real pace. The goal for me is going to be, can I chase down Impega? Can we do anything about the Dodge? It's heavy. Impega won that race at Watkins Glen. So Impega is probably about, I don't know, 200 pounds heavier than it was to start with, I think. Oh, hey, that's a slide. So it's heavier than I am, or heavier than it Actually, I think all the cars are about the same weight to start with anyway. So yeah, the Dodge is considerably heavier, and I have better tyres, but Impega's a much better driver than me, certainly with these cars. So Impega has got that advantage. Oh, don't put a wheel on the grass there. We've got a huge run down this straight, but we are not going to be able to do all too much brazen deep under brakes into the hairpin there. Very, very deep for the Mustang. Now, can we look for a way past? Is there going to be an opportunity down here? Thinking about it. Oh, both turned in a little bit too soon through that one. Onto the brakes we go. No, I'm still braking a little too late. Trying to be a little too aggressive with the car as we slither our way through the final corner. Both of us getting sideways, coming up the hill. Here comes the straight line speed of the Caddy with no ballast on. We should be able to get the car past, and we will move ourselves up into a second place. Although, will we be able to hold it? Just about. There is the proximity error. Now, for Impega, as far as this sort of championship goes, well, it's probably going to be okay, just sit and follow. Championship points-wise, you know, score a good points haul, sit in the slipstream of my Cadillac, not a bad way to go. Can hopefully sort of be drawn away from a brazen, although we've just got so much speed, it looked like absolute mayhem's gone on further back. Do not quite know what occurred there. There was some sort of kerfuffle in all of that. But, yeah, it looks very busy. The mid-pack looks very, very busy. I mean, this is what we wanted. This was always going to be the best... Oh, I turned into... technically, didn't get a dirty lap somehow through that. But, yeah, this was always going to be the best chance for me. Slightly gutted that Liam's on softs, if I'm honest. Would have loved to have not had another... I mean, there's always going to be other cars on soft tyres. I wish Liam had gone soft in the first race. But this is the strategy call, you know. It would be a more strategy victory at the end of the day. I just don't quite have the pace to go chasing off after Liam. The downside is if I get second here, boy, is the third race going to suck. But I will, because we're going to be on the maximum ballast that you can have in this little session that we're doing, and yeah, it's going to struggle. We're going to be on the worst tyres with a lot of weight. Oh, Liam's gone very, very deep down there. Maybe there is a chance for us here to chase after. As I said, I love this track. I don't know why. It's just one of the tracks that, like, Watkins Glen is a circuit that just doesn't click with me. I don't know what it is about it. Well, the short layout's fine. I love the bus stop as well, but the long layout I'm just terrible at. This is a track that for some reason generally does click with me, although a little bit too eager on the throttle there did not help. Get the car very, very sideways is far from ideal. I mean, look, well, I still think, as much as I would love to be able to chase down Liam for the lead here, there is also an element of just don't overdrive the car. Don't drive like an absolute idiot. That's all wrong through there. Wait, not even... I don't, like that. That jump across the grass was absolutely not a time gain, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. Yeah, that was actually quite bad through that one. Now, what we need to see is Liam making a few more errors. That would be the hope for me. If there's going to be a way for us to catch Liam, it would probably be through some slight errors from the Dodge, or some very good laps from me. I would like to think we could, but we had a decent enough first sector. It looks like Impega's going to have brazen for some company. A little too late on the brakes there, very wide again. Damn it. Yeah, Liam had a little bit of an iffy lap, and has just regained their composure now. And I can't live with the pace of the Dodge. I might be better off, although they got a little bit wide in the hairpin, so it might be a little bit of a just relax, don't overdrive the Caddy. We've got a good gap to the cars behind. Just focus on doing a clean run to the line. If Liam makes a mistake, be in the right place to pounce, be in the right place to get your car into the slipstream maybe. That's not the line through there either. I'm kind of guessworking a lot of the lines. I'm not driven, as much as I love Homestead, not driven it really with a Trans Am car. I drove it briefly with the Charger way back when it came out, because it was one of the circuits that I contemplated running the Charger Trans Am around. But yeah, don't really know where I can push quite what I'm doing, so it's possibly better to just not do anything too crazy here. There is a huge gaggle of cars. It's not surprising that perhaps me and Liam have got this lead. The other soft tyre cars got stuck in the traffic, so it is what is important we had a good start. So Shadow also gone for a very similar strategy to me. Did have a little bit of ballast, yes, but we managed to get ourselves through that traffic early on very nicely, and that is sort of what helped us so much in just getting the gap early on. I can't match Liam's pace. They're just too quick for me here. We will, even with, I think they've got the stage 2 ballast, so it's not a huge amount of weight on that car, but it is some, and even with that, I cannot match. No, that's the exit was better that time around. The entrance wasn't quite right through there. Tyres, the tyres. Unfortunately, we can't put crazy tyre wear on the cars, which we would love to be able to do in private multiplayer stuff. Sadly, it is not something that that can be done in all of this. Brazen cannot quite keep up with Impega either. They have fallen back through all of this. I mean, strategic speaking, this second place is nice for my points. After it's a solid first round. The downside to this strategy is race 3 is going to suck. We got a reverse grid coming up, and it's going to bury us in the pack with a heavy car. Not the best. I feel like this is more of a go for a glory in race 2, sort of a play, which I'm fine with. We actually have a better final lap. Not final lap yet. God, we've still got a few laps to go. Oh no, that's way too. You get away with way more corner cutting there than I was thinking the game would allow you to. To be honest, do I want third gear through here? Maybe. No, I don't know. We hopped up the banking there. It's better. I mean, it was a better lap, bit better lap. The iffy final sector from us there. I mean, it's not as a big surprise. The front end of this car is incredibly low to the ground, as with any race cars. And that corner, sort of coming back onto the banking, is sometimes a tricky one. I've had some cars behave very strangely there. We'll light up the rear tyres again. Not a great first sector, particularly for us. Now, earlier on the brakes, please. Down here, that's much neater. Don't know if it's much faster, though. Liam's had a great lap this one. Pulled back out to that sort of 3.4 seconds. We were just gone. I'm not crazy surprised. The field spread is a little bit bigger. I think the others are all getting stuck in their own little battle. Christ, tell you what, I don't feel like this has been a particularly terrible lap, but Liam is just gone. If you know what you're doing with these cars, if you get in a good rhythm and you get some real pace going, you can just drive away from someone, especially say someone from me when I don't know what I'm doing. Really, that was better, I think. Coming out slightly better, coming up the banking. Right, 2 laps to go. It is very much for us a case of now just don't fall off the track. We're not catching Liam in this. We're not being caught. Shadow has worked their way back up. So Shadow's now in 4th and is having a look at finding a way past Impega. So Shadow was the other one on soft tyres. The 3 cars ahead of me that we were really looking at dealing with were Liam, Shadow, or Liam and Shadow. Well, Liam, Shadow and me, I guess, were the top 3 on the softs in this race, and it looks like that might end up going that way. I don't think Impega can hold off for a couple of laps against a fast, soft-tyred car. I'm pretty sure Shadow is also in the Challenger, if I remember correctly. God, yeah, I mean, I have slightly toned down my speed. I've got to the point of I'm not catching Liam. Oh, God, so I'm just driving at a pace whereby I'm not going to make a mistake. I feel like it's maybe the slightly cowardly way to say slightly cowardly way to go. It is just a case of I can't live with the pace that Liam is doing, and if I try, there's a chance I'm just going to throw it in a wall. So I'm just going to turn it back and focus on getting to the end of the race. We're 7 seconds clear of Impega, who is still doing everything they can to try and hold off that challenger. I mean, if Impega can get a podium, that's a very, very good showing. As I said, I think it would be difficult. It looks like it is being difficult down there. Yeah, Impega is fighting and fighting hard through that section. We will just make sure our car is getting slowed down. There is all sorts of battling. By the looks of it, though, they're not alone back there. That is always an interesting one, and Shadow may have done it. You might be vulnerable to a big slipstream fest. There's a huge battle pack in the middle as well going on, which looks quite exciting. It's been one of them races. It's been one of them races where elsewhere it's been fantastic. Look at that, God, I'm looking at the mini-map. Huge battle over third. Impega's got back past again by the looks of it. We've had a very, very tame race. Oh, Liam's actually made a mistake at the end. Not that it really matters. I kind of stopped pushing just to see the car home. Liam will take victory. I will take second. I'm happy enough with that. All things considered, there is going to be a manic squabble. Did Chris end up in the... Chris might have snuck on the podium? Where did that go? Or is that just not... I know that might not have updated something properly. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Did Chris sneak in on the podium from somewhere? I presume a soft-tyred car. I've got to go and wait to look at a proper race result now, because I'm not completely sure. Confusion has struck in this one. No, I think that must have been a non-updating race result. That looks like Shadow's car got on third, and it was Shadow that would do it. As I said, we got that podium, we got that second place. I'm happy with that. Indeed it was. Shadow ahead of Impega. Brazen got to fifth. Stevie, another soft-tired car, up in sixth ahead of Aaron. Gliska, Dangerman and Ewan would round out the top 10. The other Cadillac's not had the best of times, but yeah, a solid race for me. We move on to race number 3, and this is going to be a long one, I think, for me. We're buried in the pack. 9th was drawn in terms of the grid order, so we're for the reverse grid, so we're a long way back. We've got maximum ballast, we've got medium tyres. This is going to be a tough race. I don't think we're scoring many points here. Gliska is on the front row with soft tyres and no ballast in that Corvette. If anyone beats that, I would be surprised, to be honest with you. I think we are about to be in for a really, really long race, but we shall give it a go. We shall do what we can. There are plenty of other cars on medium tyres. Oh, God, it does not turn like it did last race. Christ. Gliska is already to the front of the pack, as you would expect. I mean, we're in the same boat as Liam, quite literally almost, in terms of very heavy and medium-tyred car. We got a big slide through there. Longbow's going to look to the outside, but it's going to be difficult to get around there here. I cannot get on the throttle too soon through this section. I'm hoping I can stay in some slipstream. Longbow has got just a load more speed than me in that Cadillac. I don't think I'm going to be able to fight it. I think I am going to be better off. Well, I mean, there's a point where we've got to fight a little bit. Oh, Liam's put a wheel in the dirt. That is not what Liam wanted to do there. I don't know whether we're going to be able to pounce and make the most of it. Here comes Speed Beast. I'm not sure what tyres they are on. We're very, very late on the brakes down there. But we have got the Cadillac stopped at least. I mean, my goal is to try and beat Liam, really. If we can do that, that would be nice. My goal is to get as many points as I can. We know we're not going to get very many here. We know this is going to be a long race for us. Oh. Okay, no, that's fine. We could get away with that. Shadow's out a little bit wide. Unfortunately, having to have a little momentary lift through all of that is going to allow Liam to come through. We've got good speed on the exit, but we're not going to be able to do anything into the next corner. Particularly, Chris is going to have a look underneath. Very, very difficult through there to try and... It's trying to do the little tiny steering adjustments that you need at times when you're on a controller. Is the thing I struggle with. There's going to be a lot of leaning there. Chris is going to get completely boxed in behind Liam's dodge, which has helped me out a little bit. Shadow is struggling a smidge with their dodge as well. I mean, that thing's quite heavy too. Let's not forget, they're also on medium tyres. They did the same strategy as me. We slid out of that corner and lost some ground. I'm hoping that we can get... If we can stay in the slipstream, I'm hoping we might be able to be a little bit sneaky here. I'm still being way too late on the brakes in some of these corners. Chris has found a way past. Impega's fighting away with Longbow up there. Gliska is enjoying a in fact, Gliska's vanished at the front in this one. It's a little bit like what happened at Homestead. The right tyre strategy going into this race, and you are going to do well, pretty much. We are out a little bit wide in the final corner. We can get a distant slipstream down here. Missed the apex completely. I mean, we'll still pick up the throttle quite nicely around there. There is some squabbling going on ahead, and I mean, that's what the thing that might help me a small bit here is if the cars are fighting really hard, they may allow me to stand a chance, especially if anything goes wide. Although I am just struggling. I mean, I knew this was going to be pain. I do not have the pace in this. I don't actually have the pace in the car. Oh, Shadow's in trouble. Shadow is gone. A big crash. Shadow is unlucky in that one. I think they put a wheel on. Once they got a wheel on the dirt, it was just moving around, and unfortunately, as they spun across, wasn't a huge amount the other cars could do at that point. That is very, very unfortunate for poor Shadow there. Big crash for them. Now we are about to start having some company that I do not want or need. Behind, Ewan has caught. I mean, I would be happy with 10th. You're not going to get it, I don't think. But we are going to have to deal with Ewan's Corvette. I mean, we annoyed it at Watkins. Can we annoy it at Grand Oak? Probably not. Oh, I got on the curb. And it spat me sideways, and Ewan's gone as far off as I did in that one. I do apologise, Ewan, on that one. Not intentional. We got it on the curb and it got all squirrely. Oh, come on. Don't overheat the tyres now. Yeah, it just... I tapped the curb and that was it. It was done. Unfortunate for both of us there, really. There was not a huge amount that... There's not a huge amount that I could do at that point. Once it got upset, there was nothing. Oh, Ewan has tapped the sand and lost a bunch of time. Oh, Brazen is breaking down. We're going to say Brazen's had a technical malfunction. The Mustang's broken down. They're blowing an engine, maybe. Who knows? But Brazen is parked, and I think that might be Brazen out of this one. That is unfortunate for them. Now, can we do anything about catching coffee? I doubt it. To be honest with you, we are just going to have to drive the wheels off our Cadillac. But yeah, I mean, the Cadillac, I say maybe one of the weaker cars here. It'd be by very, very small amounts if it was. Amazingly, I mean, we've done... There's 3 PI, 2 PI difference between all of these cars. Oh, what am I doing? Into there, that's way too quick. There's not very much PI difference between these vehicles, and from stock, they're actually all pretty close. Which is cool. The Cadillac may be the ever so slight weakest, but it's by such a minuscule amount in reality. So yeah, it's actually nice that they are all pretty even. I mean, I guess in theory they should be, right? In reality, Trans Ams are essentially silhouette cars, aren't they? Really. Underneath. I don't know how similar the chassis. I don't know much about this series. That is the truth. Very interesting series, very interesting cars, but I do not know anything about it. In any of that. Now we're going to have some trouble here, I think, with a Ewan who is looking for a way past. I mean, Shadow's recovered from their big off and is actually not that far away. Is Ewan... I mean, Ewan's going to want to try and have a go at turn 1. I don't actually know if I want to defend the inside at turn 1 particularly, because the inside at turn 1 puts you on the outside at turn 2. Although if you can go around the outside up here, you're then on the inside for the very important turn 3. That's a bit too much understeer for me. But then we do have, we have the line I want through this corner. We can send Ewan the long way round, short shift to third, and climb the hill. Shadow's caught us as we're battling. I mean, Shadow has a lot well, Shadow has less weight than I do. It's only a couple of £100 on the car, but you can certainly feel it in this. Oh, we are going to be vulnerable coming up this hill. Oh, we didn't really get slowed down by the gravel, but yeah, we just lost a little bit of acceleration. Shadow might be able to fire up the inside of Ewan. Now this could help me if they fight each other. That would probably be the best shot that I have here. Well, we had lifted before you. We sort of gave Ewan a couple of taps, and then Ewan got sideways. We were out of the throttle by that point. Can I, maybe with a big toe down here, keep myself in contention? What we really need to do is find a way to slow Ewan down. Ewan's got very, very deep into turn 1. You'll get away with it, though. I didn't really get turn 1 very well this time around. I think we are out of the battle, realistically speaking. Brazen's got some life back into the Mustang. It is going. It's some 30 seconds behind me, but some life has been kicked into the Ford. Ewan with a big slide at a critical point. We're desperately trying to hang in the slipstream, essentially, at this point. If I can do that, then... Oh, Ewan's locked the rears! I've got nowhere to go. Yeah, got nowhere to go on that one. We were already at maximum, I say tyre grip getting through that corner. I couldn't do anything more with the caddy because we'd already committed. I don't know whether that was a bit of rear locking that sent it round or whether it was a curb hit that sent it round. It was definitely something that upset the Corvette. And, well, yeah, now Shadow's definitely going to enjoy. I knew this was going to be a tough race for me. I knew this was going to be a difficult. We were likely to struggle. I didn't realise it was going to be this bad. Oh, it really is not good. The max ballast caddy around here. I'm just immensely struggling for pace. It feels so much like, after being absolutely and I know part of that is I like Homestead, part of it was we had the right tyres. It felt so lovely to drive at Homestead, and then you go here, it's so difficult. It's so uncooperative. And I had a really bad run through that first section as well, which really doesn't help. Now, I'm not going to go around the outside of Ewan, I don't think. My hope might be that Ewan does that. Ewan just cannot get past. Every time Ewan gets alongside, it is a run that same corner. That's about 3 times now Ewan has got alongside, this time much worse as well. Yeah, bunch of times now Ewan has got alongside and then either run wide and hit the gravel or spun it under braking or curb use, I'm not sure which. But yeah, it looks like we might be able to get ourselves 11th. Yeah. It was always going to be one of those horrible races. It was always going to be one of those really, really awkward, really difficult races. And I'm not even driving. Like, not only is the car horrible to drive, I'm just not driving it very well. Combine both of those things, and it is, yeah, terrible. I think Ewan's broken down. I don't know the car or emotionally. It's certainly got out of sight. Well, we did think that Gliska was going to stand a good chance here with the soft tyres, no ballast, front row. And sure enough, Gliska is going to take a massive victory in this one. Well played for that. Big fights further up the field in this one. But it is a lonely, lonely race for us in this. It was the sacrifice. It was the sacrifice we made for a good race too. I think that will probably have maximised my points. But yeah. Not the best race. Although it was funny seeing Ewan fall apart, I guess. Gliska takes victory. Longbow second with the caddy. Impega gets up to third. I think Impega may well have won the championship. It'll be close, actually, with Impega and Liam. Dangerman was fourth ahead of Liam. Liam did a great job, actually. Fair play. Fair play on getting that, because I was never getting that close to that sort of pace. Considering, yeah, Liam was in the same boat as me. We had a little bit of bad luck as well, which didn't help, but just, yeah, pace was never going to be there. Right. I guess it is on to the championship results. On to the leaderboard. I was correct. It was Impega and Liam up at the front. Impega would take victory, 4 points ahead of Liam. The Dodgers taking a 1-2. Gliska would take third. In fact, it was pretty damn close, though, from third down to eighth. Gliska would take that third spot with the Corvette. Victory in the final race definitely helping. Dangerman would be fourth with the Mustang ahead of Brazen. Not a bad showing from Brazen, considering race 3. They had a very poor round. Longbow would be the highest of the Cadillacs. So in fact, Brazen, Longbow, and Shadow were all tied on points. They are organised based upon their best finishing position during a race. And Brazen and Longbow were tied with the second place. They were on their next best, highest finishing position. It was very close between those lot. I was 1 point behind them with my Cadillac. Honestly, I think the best I could have done, really, considering I'm not very good with these cars whatsoever, so I'm happy to be as close as I was. My tyre strategy, my plan worked. Had a miserable final race, but, it worked as best as I think I could have got it. Stevie would be ninth ahead of Aaron. Aaron, Coffee, and Ewan all tied down there on the 16 points. If Ewan had managed to find a way past me, Ewan would have got 10th, but as it was, ended up 12th. Then we'd be ahead of Speedbeast and Chris, who only took part in a couple of races, and Ninetales, who had technical connection issues. These cars are mad. They are absolutely bonkers. I like them. I'm terrible with them. They're absolutely not my sort of race car. However, they are fantastically cool. They can get some very good racing going on. They are difficult beasts to drive around a circuit, though. Made for an entertaining time. As I said, really cool to have a different sort of motorsport, a sort of motorsport that you don't see very, very often represented in games. So yeah, I like that they exist. I'm just terrible with them. I feel is the best way to sum it up. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.